Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance.
November 20th, 1925, in Brookline, Massachusetts, Robert F. Kennedy was born. He would grow up to become a U.S. Senator and an Attorney General.
Ethel Kennedy would fight alongside her husband against injustices towards human rights. After his death in 1968, she would found the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights, dedicated towards advancing human rights in her husband's name.
After his brother JFK won the presidential election, Robert Kennedy became a huge part in the fight against organized crime and worked for civil rights for African Americans.
In 1960, Robert Kennedy would be named as America's 64th Attorney General. In this role, Kennedy continued to battle corruption in labor unions as well as mobsters and organized crime.
In the fall of 1962, he sent thousands of federal troops to Oxford, Mississippi, to enforce a U.S. Supreme Court order admitting the first black student to the University of Mississippi.
On April 4, 1968, in Indianapolis, Indiana. He was campaigning to earn the 1968 Democratic presidential nomination when he learned that King had been assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. This would become one of his most famous speeches.
I have some very sad news for all of you, and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world. And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort. In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it's perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are and what direction we want to move in.
RFK's work in the fight against organized crime and racial injustices led to these issues becoming less of a problem locally. Nationally, we still experience similar violations. Racial injustices is still an issue that needs to be looked at closer in order to become more united as a nation.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world.
RFK was able to clearly establish his beliefs in such words. He has recognized this preamble and provided the rest of the world his thoughts and ways to improve our nation.
By making this video, we hope that everyone watching is more aware of the changes that Robert F. Kennedy has made to America. He has done so nationally and locally for our lives.